Everyone, this is the recorded lecture for Wednesday, February the 14th. And this lecture, I'm going to show you how to pull out some PLSS data from the internet and then have you make a report by screenshots. You don't really need to write, just put this or just get the screenshots and paste them in your Word document, and that will be your quiz 3. So that will serve as your quiz 3. I'm going to go through these steps, show you some of the questions, how to answer them, how to get some of the data, but then you compile all of this in one file and have it as your uh, assignment, what this represents. Okay, so the first thing is you go to this website. I did download the data, but I'm going to show you how to start with, very simple. So I'm going to copy this, and you have the links, so you don't really need to search the internet. And then I'm going to go to Firefox here. That's my internet browser. Let me start it over so I can share that with you. Okay. So this is what you will see here. This is where the public land surveying system is stored in a geospatial format or a spatial format. So here you have the system where you can view it in ArcGIS online. That's not what we are going to do. I don't think most of you, or maybe some of you, have taken the GIS class, but it's a little bit more challenging. But the very simple one is to use Google Earth, because we all used Google Earth. So this is the link to it. And I also have the link, if I go back in my file here, that's the link to the KMZ file. So you can copy this link directly for question 1 or for part 1. You are not really submitting anything yet for this part, and just download the data. Or you can just click on Google Earth. So you can just click on Google Earth. So I'm going to click on Google Earth here. It should save it. I do have the data saved. I don't want to keep saving it. So I'm going to cancel it, but again, you can just save here. Okay, that will download the data here. That will download this data, which is the public land surveying system in KMZ format. Now back to the file. The next thing is to download all the land reservations in California, and that's the link to it. So you can go to this website. I'm going to show you what the website looks like. Here it is. And these are the California ranchos, all the Spanish and Mexican land grants here in California. There are different ones in different states. If you like another state, you can just search on the internet, and if you are interested in a specific state, just let me know and I'll help you find that. So once we do this here, this is the link to it. This is the link that you should download. I also have it in my Word document here. So just to show you, if you want to skip this one, you can just download the whole thing from this link. So either way, it's okay. Now we go to Google Earth. And I think we all use Google Earth. So I'm clearing here Google Earth. Let me close it and reopen it. And I'm going to import these two files into Google Earth. So Okay. So what I'm going to do is just import them or open them. And here are the two files. So they might take a while here to load and make sure I can get it vertical here, an iBird view. Now I'm just going to uncheck the ranches here and check the cadastral one. That's the cadastral one. You see the states, the boundary of the states. So let's pick a state. For example, let's pick any of the states. Let's go, for example, to Indiana here. And you keep zooming, and at a certain zoom level, you start seeing the system on the ground. This is the system on the ground here. And if you kept zooming again, you start seeing the boxes here, or the cells are the townships. You see how the townships are? That's, for example, the 12 north, 3 east. And then if you kept zooming, you start seeing the sections. So these are the sections. Section 1, Section 2, Section 3, and I see Section 10, Section 11, Section 12, and so on. These are our sections here. You can zoom in, zoom out, and see the section numbers, see the different township numbers, and so on. So that's the system on the ground here. What I'm asking you in this assignment is, if we go back to the assignment here, name 3 townships north to Cal Poly and provide screenshots for these 3 townships. So you basically, I'll help you maybe with this one. You basically go all the way to Cal Poly, and of course you can just search for it, have Google Earth help you in that and pinpoint to it, and that's it. And then you zoom out a little bit and then give it a second or two. It's going to upload the townships here, and these are townships. Just pick any of these townships here, and you kind of see this township, you see these townships, these, at least these 2 townships, and even this one, you see these are fractional townships. And the reason is, if I opened the ranches here, they are closing on ranches here. They are closing on ranches. So any 3 townships north to the campus here. So that's one of the requirements in this assignment. Name 3 townships. By naming the townships, you give me the township and the range. And don't forget which prime meridian does it belong to. So that's an interesting thing also. We have to figure out which prime meridian we are looking at. And I mentioned that in the class, if you remember, we are with the San Bernardino principal meridian. So remember to put this as a full address for the township. Okay, zoom to the eastern Ohio and get the 7 ranges here. So that's another interesting part here. I need you to zoom to the eastern part of Ohio and look at the 7 ranges and then provide a screenshot. So now you need to go all the way, and it's uploading the system here. So this is where the 7 ranges will be, somewhere here. If you remember, it's going to be somewhere here. So I need you to check this and find it. Where are the 7 ranges? If you have difficulties finding exactly where the 7 ranges are, you can go back to the Firefox or Google Chrome here and try to search for it. Try to search, and you do have pictures for that, so try to search for it. But that should be also a simple task here. Where are the 7 ranges? We've talked about it before, if you remember. So where are these? So this is to give you a hint here. I'm not going to show it to you on Google. This is to give you a hint. So you try to match this image here with what you have here. Or if you want to zoom out a little bit and try to match them together. So this is the Google Earth. Let me make sure I share the correct screen here. So this is in Google Earth. You zoom in a little bit until you see the system on the ground. And then in the browser here, I have the 7 ranges. So try to see how to match between this picture and Google Earth. But that's simple. I think you all can get that. Okay, back to Google Earth. So the next question is, after we are done with this one here, provide a screenshot for the 4 townships intersecting at the Southern California's original initial point. So where is this initial point here? We have to go all the way and try to find the initial point. How can we find the initial point? Any ideas? Think about it. The simplest and the most correct way is to go to the manual. So here is the manual. And on page 41 of the manual, we just did say that San Bernardino here is the initial point, or the prime meridian. So where is the initial point for this principal meridian? You just search for it, and this is it. So what I did, a very simple way, is to copy these numbers and have a pin in Google Earth for it. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to copy these numbers, and you'll be surprised. It's too close to Cal Poly. And add the place marker here. Let me make sure I'm on Google. Okay, so add a place marker, and you can just copy and paste or write them down, whatever way you would like. So I'm going to write it, and then it's 3407, and then you write down the minutes and seconds, 12.997, and then 116.55, 51.511, and then you can keep it there. And here it is, the San Bernardino initial point. Now, let me first take this off, take the system off. You see, this is where the point is. This is where the point is. So you can get a screenshot like this, and then have the screenshot with the system on. The elevation of this point is about 10,000 feet above mean sea level. So if you zoomed out here, you see the mountains. If you zoomed in with the system, you see something interesting here. So this is the initial monument here, but you see 2 other intersecting points or intersecting corners here. So what's the history about this? So this monument, the actual or the first initial point, was set in 1852 by a deputy surveyor named Henry Washington. And then later, another surveyor in 1894 named John Rice. He started surveying the prime meridian here. Let me zoom out. He started surveying this prime meridian coming from north all the way going south. And then it's coming south. Hopefully he should intersect the baseline at the same monument. However, when he did that, he found himself off the San Bernardino monument, which was set by Washington in 1852. And he found this off by about 900 feet, exactly 887 feet. If you measure the distance here, let's put it in feet, that's the 870 or 890 feet. You zoomed in a little bit more, you'll get the exact distance somehow. So at this time, what Rice did is he set another monument here. He decided to set another monument. So now we have two monuments, one set by Washington in 1852 and another one set by Rice in 1894. Now later, let's clear and close this. Another surveyor in 1907 named George Person was doing the same thing, but coming from south. So he was setting the principal meridian from south, coming north, all the way. Hopefully he should intersect the baseline at one of these two monuments. When he arrived at the baseline, he found the two monuments intact. So the monuments were there, but he was off and he was not even on either of them. So what did he do? He set a third monument here, and this monument or this point is about 277 feet from Rice Monument and about 610 feet from the one set by Washington. So that's why we see three different points here. So maybe you can also report on that in your report. Okay, going back to the assignment. Okay, so our next part here is finding GLO land records, and this is the website for it. So I'm going to copy the link here, or you can just type it and put it in my browser here and share that with you. Give me a second. And that's what you see when you go to the GLO office here. So, which is the General Land Office for sure. And you have land patents here. You have the survey plats, field notebooks. I'm just going to open these here to have them handy. And then you have other sorts of records. You don't really need to worry about them. What I need for now, for sure you can navigate through them, but what I need you to know at least is how to, for example, get a land patent here. So you click on the land patents, and then you can search, and you can search by different ways. By location, you need at least to specify the state and the county. So I'm going to pick California and Los Angeles, for example. If you know other information, you can enter it. If you know the township, all of this, you can enter this stuff into it. And then I'm going to search the patents here. And these are different patents. One interesting way I did the search here is sorted by date. So I had the very first few patents here in 1860s. So maybe we can get one of these. And you can sort by date in the other order. And then you can get, for example, the last ones were in 2002. Maybe let's pick something in 2000, for example. And you can click here, or let me first show you. Sorry, let me first show you how it looks like. So it does tell you the name on the document, some other information. You can scroll down here and check this box. When you check this box, it should show on the map. Now, I did notice sometimes with some patterns, it might happen that sometimes the map doesn't really match the exact location for some, or it doesn't display it exactly correct. So that happens sometimes. So this is the patent land here. And then you can go up here and get the patent image. So they have scanned images for you here. And another thing I did notice sometimes with some browsers, you might need to install Adobe. Sometimes you might need to refresh it. Sometimes you might need to change the browser. And that's why in the grading, I will talk about that. So that's the document here. That is part of the document. That's the document. That's the recent image for it, for sure. And you can read through it. And for the assignment, you can just get a screenshot. And for some of the patents, they still have the original patents. They still have the very original ones. And sometimes they do have related documents like surveys, or if you go here for the survey itself, you can get the original survey. So you can get the plat image, for example. If I clicked for this particular patent or this particular piece of land, you can get the original plat. So you see, for example, it needs a plug-in here. So that's what sometimes will happen here. If you can fix that, that's fine. You can go down here, try maybe to get a PDF out of it. That might take time, and then download it. So you can work that out. But if you didn't, that shouldn't affect your grade. Even if you just give me a screenshot that, well, you did your homework here and you did your quiz, you did your assignment, you did your job, but for some reason it's not working, just show me at least that this is where you stopped. Okay, download, and I think this is downloaded now. So the PDF file is downloaded. So let me pause here for a second. I'll open Adobe and come back. Okay, so here is what I have. I downloaded and moved it to this folder here. So I'm going to open it and then share that with you. And now I will show you the original plat here. So this is the plat here. Hopefully that we all can see it. This is the original plat. Some of the plats you might find that they have updated it with a CAD file. I haven't really seen it, but just in case you've seen that, that could have been the case. So this is the original plat. Original plat in, I think it was 18, I see 56 here. So you can see the date of the plat here. You can see how it looks like and the different features on the plat, the different sections for this township. Okay, back to the browser here. So that's one way if it failed to display. That's one way. If it failed to display, you can do this. You can download the image also. That's another way. Another thing here is that's another patent here. So that's the 2000 patent. So I'm going to show it on the map. This is where it is. Remember, I had two patents. I had the very old one and I had the very current one. So these are the two patents that I opened. And then I can get the patent image again, same way. If it didn't create the PDF file, you should be able to download the PDF file here. So this is the pattern here. This one loaded with no problems. You can read it and see how it's written as a pattern. This is for in San Bernardino here, Township 5 North, Range 12 West, and then it gives you also the section 25, the east half of the southwest quarter, the east half of the southwest quarter, and the east half of the southwest quarter and the southeast quarter here. And it does tell you the acres here, and that's the pattern here. Okay, so that's one way. Also the related document, we didn't go through the related document. So what do we have for the surveys? For example, we have the plat image, so you can also download the plat image, or yeah, see it just happened randomly. Sometimes it does display it and sometimes it does not. So let me again download the PDF file here. It might take a while to do that, so let me just pause and come back. So it did download. I'm going to just move it to my folder here and then open the plat. For this township and then share the window. And this is the plat here. It should refresh. And it's just taking a while to get it in the system here. So that's this plat here. Now, you do see that the survey was done in the very old days. I think I can see here the day. Let me zoom in. And I'm not sure why is it taking too much time to upload in Adobe here. So it does say here 1880. This is when this plat was drafted. And then if you kept going up and down, you kind of see the topography, you kind of see the dimensions, the sections, and the bearings, and the topography again, the bearings of the lines, some of the water streams here, the total acres here. So that's this one here. Now for part B here, I'm asking you to find the original township plat for township 17 South, range 9 East. I just need to write this again here. So what you can do here is you go back to your browser here, and now you can go to the survey plats and check California. Now you have the township, and that's why you have the numbers here. So I'm going to copy the 17 or write it down, and then make sure you select north or south, and that was south. And then it's range 9 East, and then which meridian, the San Bernardino here, and then search for surveys. And here they are. The original survey, the plat, and the field notebooks. That's why I picked this one. Hopefully it will work. So I can open this one. I'm going to open this one and open the field notebooks. So that's the plat here. Again, if it didn't, for any reason, show in the browser here, you can download the PDF file. I'm going to download it. And the field notebooks, they should also be displayed. If not, I'm going to download the PDF files. And I'm going to pause here for a second and wait until it's downloaded. So this is the plat here, and this is the first page of the field notes here. Now, the reason I only downloaded the first page is if you go to the website here and with the field notebooks, you will see they had it divided here. So this is a title page, and then they have the index page. That's exactly what you guys are doing here in the surveying class, and then the body here, and then the other parts. So you can download any, I mean, parts of the field notebook. I can download the body, but it might take a while here. And if you can download the title page for the assignment, that's fine. It's also encouraging that you, or I'll encourage you guys to download the body and look through it, see how they did their field notebooks. Going back to the other plat, they had a resurvey that was done in 1926. I do not want you guys to get the new plat, but just to show it to you here, if I can download it, it's probably going to fail, but again, I can get the PDF file, and I'm going to pause here until I get the two files here and then open them in Adobe and show them to you. So here is one page, another page inside the field notebook. That's the body part. You can, if you can read through it, I think it might be a little hard, but I think you might be able to get some text out of it. Okay, for the mineral surveys, it's very simple also. You select the location, let's say California, and then you select the county, LA County, and all what you need to do is just go to the miscellaneous here and the survey type. So you go to the survey type, let's say mineral survey, and then you search the survey here, and it should pull some of the mineral surveys here. That's an example for one of the mineral surveys that you can pick, or you can pick the one I have in the assignment or in the sheet I provided you. If you'd like the plat image, you can get it from here. So that's simple. That's also something you can do. And remember, you start from survey plats and field notes. This is where you start from.